and that you were able to be here. Because if it were raining, I don't know how many of you would show up. But anyway, this FEDC special meeting is called to order on May the 21st, 2026, and it is 6 o'clock. Michelle taking notes, okay? So, what I would like to do, first of all, is establish a quorum, and I think that's what I want to do for every meeting, instead of doing the prayer first, and then the pledges. Is that okay with everyone? All right. So let's go around the table, and Michelle, you're going to take notes, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So state your name. We'll start with Ryan.
Ryan Shaker.
Okay.
Okay, Landry.
Bernadette Herrera.
David Jimenez.
Annette Montes.
Michelle Tackett.
Okay.
Oh.
That's okay. We don't need you for
Yeah, that's all right, that's why I didn't say it.
No, but I didn't realize, I've never met you, Annette, so welcome. I guess we need to do Shirley, right? That's okay. Are you comfortable there?
Very good.
Okay, very good. So, now that we have established a quorum, please stand for the Lord's Prayer, and everyone join me, please, and then we'll follow it with the pledge. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Thank you. Pledge of allegiance to the U.S. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you. You may be seated. Do we have any public comments? None? Okay. If there are no public comments, we'll go on to new business. Consideration and possible action to appoint board members to the Floresville Economic Development Corporation Board, including vice president, secretary, treasurer, and any other officer positions deemed necessary for the board. Now, you can volunteer yourself. You can do 2 jobs instead of just one, according to the bylaws, okay? So, I'm open for nominations for vice president. Don't be shy.
I'm sorry.
As much as I appreciate the nomination, I feel like my service to this community is going to be cut short considering the recent laws that were passed. So I appreciate the nomination, but I'm gonna have to decline considering that this will probably be my last meeting.
Anyone else?
I nominate Bernadette.
Okay, Bernadette, we have a nomination.
You're still a voting member. You have a different title.
I'm just very used to it.
Well, that's all right. Most of the people
Any other
here are new.
nominations for vice president? Annette for vice president, so we have 2.
I'll climb mine over the net, but she's worked with it before, I have no.
Okay, so you're not, you don't want to be nominated, is that right?
Annette, do you accept your nomination?
Yes.
All right. All those in favor of having Annette appointed as vice president, raise your hand. All right, anyone opposed? Motion
sweet
We get to
pictures.
come sit up here. Okay, the next one is for, secretary. And, by the way, I included the bylaws because the bylaws have a description of these appointments. And not only that, but I found out that Michelle takes the notes, okay? She'll do the minutes, so you don't have to do the minutes, you just have to attend, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And in case I'm not here, she's not here, then you're next. So, all right, according to the bylaws. So any appointments for secretary? You're appointed?
I'm appointed.
Cecilia? Okay, Cecilia. Anyone else? All those in favor of appointed Cecilia Rodriguez, raise your hand. Anyone opposed? No, obviously. We have 5. Did you vote here?
I can vote, right? It's
Yes.
just vice
Yes,
president.
yes, only the president doesn't vote.
Okay.
Okay, so we have 6-0, all right. I'm sorry, but I haven't done this in a long time, since 2016, so I did not take, a number for the vice president, but it was 5-0, right?
Right.
Okay, thank you, just for the record. And sure,
I nominate David.
David, okay? David Jimenez, you've been nominated. Any other nominations for treasurer? Okay. All those in favor of having David Jimenez as treasurer? You're not gonna vote for yourself? All right, so that is,
That'll be 6-0.
yes, 6-0. So those, do we have any other officer positions, Michelle, do we have any other officer positions that are necessary?
No, ma'am.
Okay. The next agenda item, so are we okay with it, everything on that one? Okay? The second item is consideration and possible action to approve interim executive director for the Floresville Economic Development Corporation. I have an opinion, I would like to, appoint our city manager, because he's here, he knows what's going on, and we all need to find out what's happened or the district for the last 2 years. We need to look into it and see I know, Mr. Lambert has done a great job, but I think that we are all new, we need to know where we stand. Yes, ma'am.
If I can say something, there is still a question of $600,000 that the city manager has not been able to show the financials to FEDC where that money is at. It's been requested, as far as I know, at least 2 or 3 times, and they haven't come up with it, so I'm really hesitant to try to put somebody in charge that has not been able to come up to show us where this is at. So,
You mean a budget?
in
Is
the
it a
budget.
budget?
And we've asked several times, and to me, that's kind of like, once again, who's watching what's taking place there. I just feel that we need to really have, if we can table this till we do get that resolved.
Well,
From what I understand, there's a misunderstanding between the agreement, with the current service agreement and with with what the FEDC pays for its debt. When you add both of those together, it comes to the 600,000. And the misunderstanding, as it was brought to my attention by, the finance director, was that in the agreement, FEDC said it's 360-something thousand that's paid. But those are for services, that the city offers on behalf of FEDC, because we do their accounting for them. We help with the agenda preparation and all these other things. So there was a set fee contractually in the service agreement back in 2024 that was agreed to. There was that $368,000. The other portion also gets charged to FEDC, but that goes to the debt that's currently associated with FEDC. So that's what equals the $600,000. The $368,000 that's in the agreement does not cover your debt payment. That is separate and apart. So you're paying over $600,000 for $300,000 for your debt commitments, for the bond issuance that you guys took out, and the other $368,000 is for the city manager. It pays for the finance director, it pays for the city secretary, it pays for all of those services that are not undertaken by FEDC itself, as I understood it, as it was explained to me. And I believe the finance director did send that explanation to Monica with a breakdown, as well as Michelle. So I don't know if that's been officially presented to you guys or not. I also know that the financials have also been sent to you guys. I believe y'all looked at that at the last meeting. So I hope that addresses the concern.
When they ask for a financial report,
I wasn't present. I was asked by the city attorney not to attend that meeting. The finance director, they didn't ask for a presentation. They just asked for the financials to be given. And so that's how the meeting went.
I assume I'm going to interject here for a second. I believe the Attorney General has some opinions on, city managers often, becoming economic development directors, for one. For two, before y'all vote, I would encourage y'all to maybe reach out to some of the surrounding communities like Seguin, Kerrville, and Hutto, and see how they're doing it, because they've all tried to implement city managers as their interim executive directors, and it didn't last very long. 2, 3, before y'all were here, this board had hired a firm to go out and acquire a new city manager, or executive director, and we did. His name is Cortland. Cortland resigned in less than a year, so the firm had said they would honor the agreement and help us find a new one. It's already been paid for. It won't be at any extra expense, to my understanding. Why would we bypass that, implement the city manager who has a plethora of things to do, being the city manager, right? You're operating with no assistant city manager right now. You're operating with no executive director. And so you're going to cut the fish in thirds by putting them in all these separate roles. For 4, is he also going to be compensated through EDC funds for the interim executive director role as well as the city manager role? 5, I don't think it's a good idea. 6, I think it's a horrible idea. Why would we do that? Why won't we take advantage of the firm that we've already employed? I understand that the mayor is advocating for it because she did at the last council meeting, but it's not smart. It makes no sense. You're commingling things. This board is designed to operate separately from the council, with the council's opinions, of course, but it's 2 different goals. The city manager has his own job title, his own things that he needs to do. This board has their own things that he needs to do. And if we do that, you're trying to mix it. Because there's going to be a time, right? There's going to be a time where a business is going to want to come to Floresville and they're going to want a sales tax abatement, right? We're going to be put in a position because the city manager has to operate at their discretion. He has to go and present them, all right, there's a sales tax abatement that wants to come here. The finance director doesn't want to give a sales tax abatement because we need the sales tax. Your job is to advocate for the sales tax abatement because you want to bring growth. So now he's conflicted. Why would we put ourselves in that position? Not only in a logical sense, but in a legal sense. I think that everybody should do their due diligence, use the firm that we hired before, and figure it out.
Ben, this is only interim, it's not forever, it's just for
I've heard interim before, we've had interim for a long time.
Excuse me, it's just for us to get a hold of what's happening in the last 2 years. I looked at the minutes, I looked at the agendas for the last 2 years, there is no big business coming in, nothing. Can you, and in talking to our city manager, he has, without communication with the FEDC, because nobody talked to him, we have been involved.
This board can't go out and buy property and sell property. This board is to promote the city.
You can buy property. That's the whole
Oh,
extent.
right. We're gonna go buy commercial property and sell it. Yes, we do that.
You can do that.
I understand that, but that's not, each individual person isn't gonna go out and buy property, right? This board, the goal is to sell property. We don't need to spend our money right now. We need to save it. We need to invest it within the community. We need to help the downtown businesses. There's so many grant opportunities that we can provide to to make this downtown more accessible, more
And why
beautiful.
hasn't that happened in the last?
We've attempted to, we've worked on trying to change our grant system. Every business that I go to downtown, I say, hey, come sign up for a grant. But right now, our grant only offers facade grants, and not everybody needs a facade grant. I mean, they need working capital that they can use. And we're limited on that. That's why. But I mean, there's multiple reasons why growth hasn't come to fruition. For one, the utility infrastructure is tough in most of the area on 181. It costs too much money to keep utilities over there, and the city isn't operating very quickly. I mean, there's people that want to do multifamily houses that were annexed into the city a couple years ago, and they still don't have utilities yet. And it's not by fault of him, but they have to de-annex it now because they cannot bring utilities over there.
Ben, I would like to ask our city manager to address, or tell us about some of the, functions or projects you have been involved in bringing business to Floresville.
Well, in terms of coordination with FEDC, I mean, there hasn't been any, okay? I've been a part of several other meetings. A lot of the meetings that I've participated in have been for marketing and tourism. It is for downtown, for facade, there's grants, which is great. I'm not saying no. And it's been geared towards a lot of small business, and which is great. But there's a lot of other functions for economic development corporations. Economic development corporations can put in infrastructure. You can put in water, sewer, manholes, all of those, drainage. That's all eligible expenses, what you're able to do. You can become developer, and you can sell out property. You can do that as well. Typically, and one thing that I haven't seen is from the FEDC, is you haven't adopted a formal incentive package that you can offer developers or interested businesses coming in. So that would be one task that I would charge the EDC to do. Now, when you're talking about incentive packages, you always bring in the city manager and the finance director because it has to make money, it has to make sense tax-wise. Whether it's sales tax, whether it's permitting, whether it's property tax, you have to bring us in order to offer that. Because you don't vote on it and it becomes official. That has to go before council. And council is gonna look at me and say, hey, have you looked at this proposal? What is it? Does it make sense? Does it not make sense? And then I have to give my recommendation to it as well. So I'm not caught between a legal bind between offering incentive and not incentives, and being against the finance director and being against the interests of the FEDC. We function together. We have to function together. We can't be apart. Now, economic development corporations, a lot of them feel that they are just an independent board that operates independently of the council, which is not necessarily true. All of you here as board members serve at the will of the council at any time. At any point, you can be replaced. And so when I first started, I called for my first 30 days for us to have a joint workshop. And I got considerable pushback for that. And so I said, you know what, let's wait until after the election. So then we're here. So we still have to work together because the charter requires me as the city manager to not only put a balanced budget together, but to put a capital improvement program together for the city, for the 4B to make sure you're compliant, as well as the 4A to make sure that they're compliant. So there's a lot of interaction and partnership and work and collaboration between FEDC and the city manager's office. It's not where FEDC can come in and just exclude city management or exclude anyone from the city. You can't do that. Now, council, under the charter and under Attorney General's opinions, they can give the board of directors to FEDC direction. They can, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but they can tell the city manager, go to FEDC and implement this, and this. And at that point, we work together to create programs, whatever the council deems. I mean, we're all here at the benefit and at the will of the council. We can't change that. That's in the charter, that's in the law. We serve at their will, okay? So,
Aren't you getting paid by the EDC right now?
no. All of my money right now comes out of the general fund. Now, out of the $368,000, that does go towards it. The previous city manager was getting paid from FEDC
So
funds.
from that $360,000, you're not getting anything?
All of my money right now comes from the general fund. I don't get any
Michelle,
choice for it.
with the agreement that we have with the city, does it say that the city manager gets a portion or no?
The current agreement and the current breakdown did show that. Now, I don't know if that's carried over to the city manager, but that was the case.
It's an eligible expense, it doesn't mean that it's being paid. So,
But we're still giving $360,000 to the city as we speak, right?
well, until last Friday, yes, because that went to Monica's salary. So as of this week, I've not charged any part of my salary to FEDC. But I had already instructed, as for the city council member last Thursday, I'm not looking to get any money from FEDC. So if you guys want to pass a vote and amend this service agreement, I'm all for it, because to me, there's a lot of contradictions in here. There's a ton of contradictions in here. And it needs to be straightened out.
Right.
Okay, now in terms of the executive director, in the service agreement, FEDC Board of Directors has to work with me for the selection of the executive director.
For sure, that is the
Hold
goal.
hold on. In the same paragraph, it says during any period of vacancy or extended absence, the city manager, after consultation with the FEDC board, may assign the employee who he or she determines is the best able to meet the various obligations and responsibilities of this agreement. It's not your choice.
You're assigning yourself.
I'm not assigning myself. The item on the agenda is for the FEDC board to assign me.
But has there been a long-term vacancy?
Well, and this is the thing. Again, it's my choice under this agreement. With consultation, right. But it says, during any period of vacancy or extended absence, the city manager, after consultation with the FEDC board director, may assign the employee who he or she, that's me, determines is the best able to meet the various obligations and responsibilities of this agreement. I make the recommendation to you. I don't have to make a recommendation to you.
So no consultation?
Well, it's not a matter of consultation or not. We can leave the position vacant. And we can go out in a later date and time and advertise the position. You don't have to appoint me as the interim. Either way, if you look at the agreement, the hiring, evaluations, and terminations, FEDC shall have input under the hiring. You don't have hiring abilities. I do, under this agreement. Furthermore, FEDC agrees and acknowledges the city will serve as the employer of record for assigned FEDC employees. So by charter, they're my employees. They're not FEDC employees. So the one you have to have consultation with is your executive director. All the other positions are budgeted through are negotiated through the budget, but they're my hires. So, I mean, there's no need to appoint me as the interim. I already have considerable voice in FEDC, because your executive director, who we co-select, is an employee of the city. And under charter, every employee works for me.
Works for the city.
Well, they work for the city. They're city employees, but they're under my purview as a city manager.
They work for the city.
They work for the city, yes. I'm the city manager. And under charter,
I have a question. Why hasn't the city utilized the agency that helped hire Portland? That was back in 2024 when he resigned. Why hasn't anyone
that was
done that?
before me,
Yes, it was before you, but
yes.
when you came on to the position, were you able to, why weren't you able to get someone? This is very important, I think, to have.
You hired Monica, I believe.
Yeah, I assigned Monica because she was the most familiar, who was the assistant city manager. She was the previous interim city manager. I assigned her, the board took action and approved her to be, and then she has recently retired. So now we're back to the vacancy. I'm not saying that this isn't a process that we can't move towards. By no means am I saying that. But I'm saying as of right now, in terms of what the action item is on the agenda, is you don't have to name me. I already have considerable influence and control of the day-to-day operations of FEDC, according to this agreement.
A couple, I guess, questions, points I want to make. what is our plan for this interim assignment? We're talking about assigning somebody as interim. What kind of a timeline are we talking about, number one? Number two, what is our plan to fill the position permanently? Is there a plan?
Well,
Do we have?
not yet, because first of all, we have to agree to it, and then it goes to the council. It's not automatic. The council has to approve the interim. Okay, and then after that, then we can come up with a plan, isn't that correct? I mean, how can we
But,
vote
so
on a
we're
plan right
gonna
now?
go
Well,
with
no.
the interim without any idea how long that person's gonna be in that role? Is that what you're saying?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that
So
we need
the-
to find out what's going on right now. None of us know whether we have contracts with anybody. We don't know what businesses are out there that haven't been completed. I don't know anything. I'm brand new at this, and so are a lot of the new members. So we need information.
Yeah,
And-
because we're discussing assigning or appointing an interim, for me, I'd like to know what kind of timeline we're talking. Are we talking about a month? Are we talking about 5 months? Are we talking about a year? I have no idea what kind of time we're talking about. And it would be helpful to me to know that, so that then I can decide or, provide input on what I think makes the most sense. I don't even know at this point, the timeline that we're talking about for the interim, and I don't know what's happening with the permanent executive director position. And that would be helpful to me as well, too.
So per the agreement, city manager and the board jointly select the employee for executive director. So if y'all have a contract with somebody, y'all can make a motion to, enforce that contract and have them go out and find the most qualified person, for that executive director role. I also want to point out that last meeting, it was motioned and approved by the, prior board to, work on an interlocal agreement for a trade school on EDC property. There's been circulation going around that the EDC property, the county wants the property. So I think y'all make a motion to, work with that contract to find the most qualified person to be y'all's executive director. I'm sure the city manager will jointly work with y'all to hire the most qualified person.
Yeah, I mean, I think the best, to answer your question, I think the best route would be, is to consult with that firm about going out and finding an executive director, but at the same time establish a committee that will help conduct those interviews for that role, right? Alongside the city manager, alongside the council. This is the first time that there's been 2 elected officials show up to an economic development meeting, which I'm very ecstatic about, because I want that participation, just as you do, just as everybody here does. I think the best bet is to establish a committee, go to the, consult with the firm, and have somebody, from the city manager's words alone, he, I'm sure there's different interpretations of the agreement that we have, but if he assumes that he already has that control, why does he need the interim executive director role in the first place? If he already has all that control, is it just a title? You just want to have a title? What is the point, right? I think we can operate well together, but have these people, y'all are the board, y'all need to voice your opinions, and I believe that establish a committee and then presenting it to the board, and then the board presents it to the council alongside the city manager to have this executive director. I think that is the best way to go. I think you're jumping the gun right now, appointing the city manager as the interim executive director. That is my opinion, but.
Well,
I think we can do both simultaneously. We can appoint an interim so that he can find out, to brief us on where we are today.
He can already do that, though. What is he gonna do different being the city manager and the interim executive? He already told you that he has that authority.
I know, but this makes it more efficient.
He's already supposed to be here.
And I'll tell you this, okay? Let's just put this to rest. I'm not looking to be named the interim. I appreciate it. It's very thoughtful. I get the intent, okay? With this agreement, I'm able to accomplish what you're saying, for me to go into FEDC, look at their contracts, revisit this contract for an official hiring process, assist with the establishment of that committee. I can do that under this purview. I'm more than happy to work with everybody. But at the same time, I think can be agreed upon that since we're entering budget season, that I help you guys move towards the budget, number one. Number two, I think I can help you, because I've run EDCs before, I can help you create your projects moving forward. I can help you do your studies to figure out what target areas you're gonna go for, what industries you're gonna go for, and have those discussions with you. Because are you gonna do industrial, commercial? Because you own 50 acres over at your industrial park that's just sitting there off the tax roll, and all it is brush. You own property throughout the city. It's off the tax roll. It's doing nothing. It's doing nothing for you. You have the property over here. You guys took a vote 3 months ago to hire an architect. You haven't even put the RFQ together. Let me help you do that. Let me help you put your incentive package together. Let me help you do the market demographic studies. Let me help you create a path to doing actual business recruitment so that we can do this. You know, and Ben is there, and Ray was there, and Jake was there in my office when I said, hey, let's partner. Let's become a developer, and let's go out there, and then, you know, we'll split up the property between commercial brokers and let them do the recruitment, and we sell the property that way. So there's plans out there for development. There's ideas out there for development for business recruitment. And I understand, because at the same time, they said, hey, you know what, we have property, and you know, it's a matter of, we're not gonna build until we have tenants, and I get it, because it's a financial risk. But as an FEDC board, you have the ability, using these taxpayer dollars, to help offset some of those infrastructure costs, because they are eligible expenses. So let me help you put that plan together and help you move this FEDC board forward. I don't think there's any disagreement between members of this board, people in the community, as well as the city council, of trying to move FEDC forward. You haven't had a project in 3 years. 3 years. Your economic growth over the past 19 months has been 0.0%. Your available leasable square footage has ballooned to 12.4% increase over the past 13 months, which tells you either businesses are leaving Floresville or they're going out of business. One of the two. You have an 80% leakage of retail and business going out of San Antonio because you are a rural commuter city. What are we doing to help reduce that number? What's the plan? Those are the questions that council is asking of me. This is the question that your board president is asking of you. All she wants to say is, hey, city manager, come in and help us out. Now, in terms of this agreement, in terms of this action item, my recommendation, that you take no action. But look, FEDC doesn't belong to anybody. It doesn't belong to a group. It doesn't belong to a political group. It doesn't belong to members of this board. It belongs to the citizens. It's our job. And so for the past 3 years, all we've done with FEDC is grow a bank account. That's all we've done. We've done minor facade grants. We've helped some money. We've thrown money at marketing and tourism. Your sales tax last month for the city was down 4%. We haven't seen an increase yet in this month in sales tax. So you're talking consecutive months of decrease in sales tax. That's an issue. Our building permits, whether it's residential or commercial, has not hit the 25% mark of expected budget revenues. That's a big, big economic indicator that's not working in our favor. Your responsibility is to help turn that around. That's what you're charged with as FEDC. 4A is also charged for that, but they have a specific assignment to the event center, the sports park, and tourism, and marketing. That's their responsibility, which we're working with them as well.
The topic on the agenda that we're discussing is the appointment of the interim executive director. You were reading earlier one of the agreements or bylaws about who has the authority to appoint the interim. Can you help me find Where were you reading those
And
provisions?
this is the latest service agreement.
We don't have copies of that.
It's,
It should have been added to your packet.
Is it in our packet? Okay, then I was looking for it.
Hold on.
Right.
Yeah.
So he may, unfortunately, the city advantage this time.
And I know one thing I do not want to see leave is us working with Alamo District to open a technical center here in Floresville. And I know that property has been viewed to be sold. Now, I think for the citizens of Floresville, the people that cannot commute to San Antonio, the people that are not able to get education in San Antonio, that is something that we really need to push and not look at dollar signs to sell that building when we can use it for this project that we have started working on. And I know, and I'm just gonna say, you know, the city manager has mentioned that he wants to sell that property. And that is my big issue, because I think creating a technical school in Floresville will help the people here, and I wanna help the people in Floresville.
Well, and let me address
So
that.
address it, please.
No,
because
let
that is
me
one thing I am
address
not.
that. Let me address that.
So just-
Because while you guys are meeting with Ms. Camacho and other representatives of the San Antonio area colleges, the council has been meeting with the school district, has been meeting with the county, and meeting with State Representative Guillen's office to try to bring one of the two colleges to our area, okay? Whether it's the San Antonio area colleges or whether it's TSTC. We don't care which one it is. But because of the way that the schools work, we fall within the purview of the San Antonio area colleges. If they're unable or unwilling, we can then, as the city, petition that they give a 60-day public notice. Once that expires, under state law, TSTC can then come into this area and we can work on a technical school with them. So the intent of that meeting was to put pressure to get a deal done, because you guys have been doing this for 3 years and nothing's happened. So while we're doing that, we also had discussions as to where is the ideal place for this school to be. And almost immediately, the site over there on South Phelps, from the conversations that we had, it wasn't an ideal location. So the idea says, well, if that's not an ideal location, where can we put the school? Do we already own property? I.e., whether it be 4A, 4B, or the city, where does the city ultimately have property? How much property are they talking about? How much is it gonna cost to build? Because then they started getting into, well, we need a county tax, which isn't gonna happen. I mean, that's, I think people are,
This is, the
I
agenda,
understand.
the agenda item is with regards to the interim executive director. Do you have an appointee, because per the agreement, you're gonna have to say something, so. Do y'all have anybody that y'all wanna have as an interim?
I'll make a motion that we,
under the agreement, it's my assignment.
Okay, and so,
In consultation
with
with.
Well,
consultation,
no,
yes,
Yeah, there's language in it.
No.
may assign with after consultation with the FEDC board, may assign.
okay.
So, do you have an assignment, or should y'all table this until the next meeting?
I requested it be tabled before, in a previous comment earlier, that it be.
I'll make a motion that we table this item.
And
Let
second
me ask
motion.
our attorney first. If we table this, can we go ahead and ask Mr. Munoz to go and make a list of the things that we could do going forward?
Yes, he can already do
Because he
that.
already has that power.
Yeah, he did.
He could have done it the
Yeah,
moment he
I
moved
think
in.
whatever you want for him to help us with,
Yeah,
you should ask him.
he can be,
And then let's see how he responds.
he can come to every single meeting.
He has-
Every single
He
meeting.
has to work with the board, and so, you know, if, for instance, if he had somebody listed to assign, he would have to consult with the board, and he may assign them at his, you know, for the interim, but both the board and city manager have to jointly approve to, for the most qualified person, so. If y'all wanna table it, he can continue, but you do have to work with the board.
Oh, that's understood, I already know that.
It sounds like this is, you know, when you were saying the statistics or the money that we have and the grow, or the lack of businesses and all that, it sounds like very urgent. So my concern is like, there sounds like there's a lot of urgency there, but where's the trying to be working with the firm? And I don't even know if that firm would still honor the contract.
they would.
because
I
it's
think they would.
24. But that sounds like it's an urgent thing, because I don't want that to expire.
The original contract, I believe you had said that it was, you had already hired somebody and then they resigned and then they honored to do it again at no additional charge.
Mhm.
Right, and so I'd like to see that in writing contractually and review the contract, with the committee, whoever you decide at the next meeting, who the committee's gonna be, and we can move forward with it. I have no issue with that.
Yeah, either way, it feels like to me that it makes sense for us to try to move forward with assigning or hiring or finding the permanent executive director.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, I mean, we don't do that. But at the same time, we can't put everything on hold, waiting for that to happen.
It doesn't have to stop.
Yeah, I'm asking you, let's do it tomorrow. So, yeah, I'm asking about timeline, I'm asking about how long it's gonna take, I'm asking about when things are gonna happen. And so, because, again, it feels like we should be finding the permanent executive director so that that person can come in and
I think
provide leadership.
you can direct Michelle to reach out to the firm and see if they'll do it. Then you have the president call a special meeting. Next week, because you have so many days you have to give notice, and appoint the committee and get the process rolling. I mean, I think that's how you do it. I mean, you don't have to have one meeting a month. You can have a meeting.
How long has it been since that contract was approved?
I couldn't tell you. I don't
And
know.
nothing was ever done
Nothing's ever done where.
with the firm you're talking about?
They hired one
To
person.
hire?
We hired one person, and then that fell through because he resigned early.
Okay,
How long ago was that?
I couldn't tell
that's
you.
what I'm asking.
Well,
I don't know.
Was it prior to your appointment to the board?
I have no idea. I
It
don't
was
remember.
2024.
Was it 2024?
Because you've been on the board almost 2 years, right?
Yeah, maybe just about. I'm getting up there in age.
Well, it's not age I'm talking about.
Oh.
But we could have Michelle look it up and
Yeah.
reach out to them and see if they'll still honor it and send that contract forward. But if they still would honor it and then go that route and table this for now until we get that.
Do we have a copy of the contract?
I don't with me, but I think Michelle may have one in the
Michelle,
office.
I will have to look for it, but I'm sure it's there in the emails.
can you share that with our city manager?
I will.
Okay.
To address your concerns with the interim executive director, that doesn't stop him from helping you, or
I
helping you
understand that,
forward.
I understand that, because he read this on the services agreement, that's where it's noted.
Right.
So for right now, what I would like to do is, on that agenda item, is not table it, but just take no action on it.
I think if you take no action, it dies. If you table it, you can table it for the next meeting.
But we're not gonna get an interim director. That's what this is for. So,
They've already seconded the motion, so if they wanna,
who did?
You made a motion, I had seconded it.
What was the motion? To table it?
A motion to table.
it might, to hire a permanent executive director might be complicated. It could happen within a month or something, so y'all could have the interim, if he finds somebody that he wants to, appoint, that could be discussed at the next meeting for an interim. Briefly, I think the concern for everybody is how long is interim, it doesn't really state. And, interim, a lot of times interim just kind of becomes the person.
A question for our city manager, if an action item dies, I know, like, planning and zoning or city council, it's 6 months, like a zoning change, it takes 6 months before you can come back on an agenda. In economic development, if an action item dies, can you bring it back to the next meeting, or?
I mean, y'all need to, I don't think it necessarily dies, if y'all.
If you take, yeah, I think, if we table it, then it gives you the opportunity to bring it back in the event that you need to, is why I'm motion to table.
To table it in the same one for an interim director?
Right, because if we get 3 months down the road and you don't have, an executive director yet, then you can you can bring this item back and appoint an interim executive director. That's why you table it. I don't know what the ramifications are if the motion doesn't have any action. I'm going off of experience from the council, because if it doesn't progress on council, it takes 6 months.
Okay, you've already made a motion to table it. We have a second. Bernadette, you seconded it, is that correct?
Right.
Okay, all
Can
those
we
in
repeat
favor?
what the motion
To table.
Well, the
That's
motion.
it?
the
That's the whole
table
motion?
items.
Yeah, it's just a motion to table, and then you have to bring it back whenever.
And we can bring them back in case we need to bring it back.
The motion is to table it.
Yes.
Okay. Do I need to read it again? No, right? You have it in front of you.
No.
So, okay. All those in favor of tabling it? Okay. 6-1. 6-0. I'm sorry, did you vote?
Yes.
I can't see your hand. 6-0. Okay. So we will table it.
Michelle, the services agreement that I was just looking at, is there, any way for me to get a copy of that?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And, yeah, make sure the city manager gets a copy of that.
I have
Who's
it.
got it?
Not the service agreement, the contract.
The contract with
Yeah.
the hiring agency.
Yes.
And also too, the executive director serves at the will of the board. It's stated in here, so.
Yeah, that's where.
Yeah, so.
Starts with that.
He doesn't
and then
have
talks about-
unbridled, yeah, if he wants to do it, he wouldn't be able to just, the executive director in that capacity works at the will of the board, so.
It says here, the FEDC board shall have input on any disciplinary or termination decisions involving FEDC and employees who are compensated.
And you gotta go up.
The executive director who shall.
I understand that. They function as the day-to-day duties, but also under the charter, they're a city employee, which means ultimately, you're basically a department of the city. And so this is where I tell you, there's a lot of contradictions in this thing that needs to be reworked. And we'll bring it back for consideration at another meeting.
Our
There's
next
two
meeting-
parties, there's the city and there's the board, so you can bring back whatever
Yeah.
recommendations you.
Our next meeting is scheduled for June the 8th. Everyone knows the dates, right? The second Monday of the month, for those of us who are new.
Yes, that's correct.
So,
With the ability to call special meetings in the ready, we want something else to happen.
absolutely, like this one, yeah.
Okay.
And we're gonna miss you.
I'll miss you too. There needs to be some fire in this community. I mean, we need to be excited about representing our.
David's got it.
Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Can I take my name,